Anybody that didn't listen, that hasn't yet listened
Correct.
to the Power Producers, can you take us through what is that funnel?
Hold up.
Yeah, sure. So, my goal in anything that I do is always to be one off of what you think I'm doing so that you never know what I'm really doing.
Yes.
Right. And so there may be an end game, there may be a front game. It's up to you to figure out which one it is. But in this case, it's a front game. And so, our agency specializes in middle market commercial business. Our average accounts are between 250 and 500,000 in premium. So for me to be screwing around with a wedding insurance website or whatever else, is somewhat laughable. I can understand, but a lot of my friends are busting my chops about the fact that I've got this, that we own Florida wedding insurance. And one thing I didn't talk about yesterday is I don't just own Florida wedding insurance. I own FloridaWeddingInsurance.com, TampaWeddingInsurance.com, Naples, Fort Myers, the Keys, and all of them point to that funnel. So we're going to every major wedding destination in Florida, which is basically any city in Florida because it's a huge destination state. And we bought the domains to point back to that same landing page. And so the idea behind it was to get a quote bind issue product for liability out and available to people so that we didn't have to touch it. It became a passive income stream for us. But in the process of building that, we realized that instead of us just making a passive income stream, it would be better to have a passive income stream that was also a lead source to a much larger income stream relative to what we're getting. So the way that the program's set up, we are allowed to net the commissions out of the placement of the policy. So we take a $50 program administration fee from the group that we're doing this with. And so every time we sell a quote bind issue, wedding liability policy, we make $50. Well, the first thing that got real is when we started moving like 6 to 8 of these things a day. And I ran the numbers and I'm like, holy crap, man, this is like $100,000 a year job that I'm not even having to show up for. This is awesome. Yeah. But we use HubSpot as our CRM in the agency. So, we're pretty hip to automation. I'm a huge fan of using video as much as you can. We've been using video for years before COVID ever hit, whether it be for video proposals or marketing or just general content. And so we created a sequence around that so that when somebody bought the wedding product, it took them to a thank you page that began an automation sequence with me basically welcoming them to the Florida Risk Partners family, thanking them for the opportunity to do business with them, and then letting them know that while we're not going to be obnoxious about it, we are going to remind them about other milestones in their life that might happen over the next little bit. And so we have the anniversary date, the date of the wedding, is automatically pulled into HubSpot because that everything is based off of that. So at predetermined times between the time they purchase the policy and their wedding, they'll get reminder emails from us about probably worth looking at your homeowners, probably worth updating your auto, make sure that you've looked at life and disability, make sure that the ring is covered or the rings are covered, and all of those things. And so it became a really nice lead source for a very young personal lines division in our agency. And, people, again, you know how it is, locker room, whatever, guys are going to bust each other's chops. I was constantly getting made fun of that I'm screwing around with this. But at the end of the day, I look at it this way. We drive traffic to those landing pages through search and display ads. And, I have a Google budget. It's not high. I spend about $100 a month to drive traffic. We're the number 1 ranked site on Google for Florida wedding insurance. And so as long as I'm spending less money on my ad spend than what I'm making on the revenue for the wedding policies, everybody else who's making fun of me is paying to get leads, and I'm getting paid to get leads. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong.
I love it.
Hold up.